I've been eating hot dogs since I was a kid, and I love them. But you hear all these stories about what goes in them and how they're made. I've always been a little afraid to find out. Today, I am going to face my fears.
People used to think that hot dogs were made from dog meat. That's how they got their name. So let's get to the truth once and for all.
All right, so you make a hot dog out of what?
The two basic meat components that we use in making our hot dogs are boneless bull meat and boneless 50% beef trimmings.
So when you say bull meat, what does that mean?
Not a steer, not a heifer, not a cow, a bull.
All beef. Well, that's a relief. The bull meat, which is 94% lean, is high in protein and serves as the binder holding the hot dog together. The beef trimmings, 50% of which are fat, provide the flavor.
So how do you turn 2 tons of meat into a hot dog?
We do that over in the chopping room. It's right this way.
Now, if you're a vegetarian, you might want to look away. The meat arrives here in 2,000-pound bins. So the first step in making a hot dog involves raking the meat into these smaller stainless steel carts. Next, a worker dumps the bull meat into a giant mixing bowl called the chopper. As the chopper spins, a rotating stainless steel blade grinds the meat. To make sure the dogs taste like a hot dog, workers also add water, salt, a sugar substitute called sorbitol, and something called liquid smoke. Sabret cooks its hot dogs in an oven, but the liquid smoke makes them taste like they came out of a smokehouse. Next, they add the beef trimmings, along with a packet of blended spices.
What kind of spices do you add?
I can't tell you. It's a secret. It's our secret. It's our proprietary secret blend.
All right, oregano?
I can tell you, but I'd have to shoot you, huh?
The last ingredient Sabret adds has nothing to do with taste. It's called sodium nitrite.
Sodium nitrite is a curing agent. It helps to give us the color we're looking for, as well as extend our shelf life.
All right, so what color are you looking for in a hot dog?
We're really looking for a nice, dark, reddish-brown color.
All right, if we left out the sodium nitrite, what would we get?
We would have a gray hot dog. Very ugly.
People don't go for gray hot dogs.
No, they don't.
After the mixture spends another minute in the chopper, a worker activates a large rotating blade called the dumper wheel. This channels the beef slurry into a giant funnel, which is the top of a machine called the emulsifier. Down below, 4 plates grind the meat even more, just like a mill. When it comes out the other side, it looks like a meat smoothie. And what happens next? Nothing. At least for the next 24 hours. How do hot dogs get their shape? And later, find out how these mud-like pellets turn into these enormous flashes of color and light. After grinding this beef slurry into a fine meat smoothie, the people at Sabret put it under wraps for 24 hours. Apparently, even hot dog needs a moment to chill.
This is an emulsion cooler where we store the emulsion overnight prior to stuffing.
And what happens overnight?
Overnight, the active ingredients of sodium nitrite and so forth are curing the meat and setting it up so that we can stuff it the next day.
This is the stuffer. Inside, 2 14-inch long screws push a steady stream of cured hot dog meat through 8 feet of pipe to the stuffing horn. This device holds a tube of casing made out of cellulose that will create the hot dog shape.
The cellulose casing is the type of casing that we use to make our skinless product. This is a casing that is actually 180 feet long.
No, it's not. It's 2 feet long.
Well, hold that, start walking.
180 feet long.
180 feet long.
Inside the stuffing horn, a pump forces the cured meat into the cellulose casing, which the machine holds open and rotates. The filled casing continues into a machine called the linker, where small metal blades called butterflies crimp the casing to create the individual hot dog links. Here's what it actually looks like inside. It's so fast, you can barely tell what's happening. Now the links get lubed or hung onto a conveyor which will take them to the ovens. That's done by a machine called the looper. After every 300 links, a worker ties off the end link and the beginning link of each strand by hand.
How many hot dogs can you make? I mean, what?
Well, each one of these buckets on the product we're currently stuffing is around 3,700 to 3,800 hot dogs.
You're talking like 1 million hot dogs or something a day, aren't you?
We're pushing 1 million.
This may seem like an insane amount of hot dogs, but consider this. Americans consume 450 hot dogs every second. Now it's time for the hot dogs to cook.
This is the giant hot dog cooking oven. If you look inside, you can see it's a big S-shaped chain going back and forth through 3 different zones. Each zone's at a higher temperature.
Every hour, a worker opens a small door and tests a sample batch of hot dogs. His job is to make sure they've reached the target temperature of between 160 to 164 degrees Fahrenheit. Once the ovens cook the hot dogs, a series of showers cool them to below 25 degrees Fahrenheit before they can be packaged. First, a shower sprays them with cold water. Then they enter a brine cooler where another shower sprays them with a chilled solution of salt and water. 20 minutes later, these cold dogs are ready to be undressed. A worker feeds the hot dogs into the peeler, which literally strips off their cellulose casings. Here's how it works. Just inside the peeler, a nozzle blasts the hot dog with a shot of hot steam. Next, a knife called the slitter makes a tiny slice across the length of the casing. And finally, a blast of air blows the casing off. And all this happens in record time. 28,000 hot dogs fly through this machine every hour, emerging skinless and unlinked. That's 8 hot dogs every second.
So are these safe to eat at this point?
These are fully cooked at this point as per USDA standard requirements for fully cooked sausage product. Care to try one?
Yes. It tastes like a hot dog.